Afternoon, everybody. Quick thoughts on, well, we'll see if they're quick or not. Quick thoughts on scar tissue. Currently, as many of you know, experienced a car accident while traveling abroad and still healing injuries, physical, emotional and mental, from that encounter. And I'm walking through a lot of steps and experiences that come with that, with the body experience. And I like to share them over with my subscription page or even with Zoom appointments. I'm very transparent. I get injured a lot on purpose because you live hard, but with every injury comes an opportunity, not a debilitation. But there are rules that need to be followed. So I like sharing when I have injuries. I like sharing when I go through encounters like the back skin on the back of my hands burning off out of nowhere. And how do I go into healing that without the use of treatments, therapies, supplements, and medications. So something on scar tissue. I had an encounter, and I'll go into deeper details on my subscription page for sure. But the medical world and therapy world will have you believe that scar tissue is a bad thing, just like swelling, inflammation is a bad thing, or pain is a bad thing. Even a tumor or a wart is a bad thing. It's just a healing response to the body in response to your life choices. Now think about what scar tissue is. Is it this thing that's injected into you by this bug, or something from the sky just comes in and just all of a sudden just douses you with scar tissue? What's the point of it? Well, when tissue gets damaged, the body will create a temporary bridge, connecting two points together to create a stability, to create a connection between these areas that the connection is damaged. The transit system is damaged. And so the body, being beautiful and brilliant, along with swelling, inflammation, and pain to the damage caused to the tissues from your life and from your choices, even in a car accident, with the scar tissue formed, it's not something you want to get rid of, because the scar tissue is there for a reason, created by you, for you. You are absolutely supposed to feel it. You're supposed to sense it. You're supposed to actualize it in movement. You're supposed to sense it in feeling. You're supposed to feel it with your hands. You're supposed to feel it under your skin, with your skin. It's for you and nobody else. So now, scar tissue is a bad thing. Can't say that anymore, can we? Because it's a response to, as I said, a temporary bridge, a temporary connection system, while new tissue is being built underneath. New remodeling, new regeneration, which is just going to happen naturally. To the level that new bridge gets built, to the level that new road gets built, is completely up to you. But the body will build it up to a certain point. And then, and only then, will it, as long as you are taking it through stimulus levels great enough to create this, it will break up the scar tissue when it's no longer needed. Just like the body will reduce inflammation when it's no longer needed, at no time before. Not because of a diet, not because of peptides, not because of cortisone, not because of ice, not because of any of these other things. The body will be done with the healing response when it no longer needs you to change your life to a certain level, greater or alternate what created the scenario in the first place. And so we have this world where people are going in and preemptively, prematurely breaking up scar tissue, acting like they can feel it with their hands and going in and they're body workers and this whole thing. Okay, but what they did, because they didn't make you, they didn't make the scar tissue, nor did they know any idea what are all the variables that went in to bring you to that point in time. Your details, intimate details of your life that created the damage in the first place as to why your body would create the scar tissue. Now they just go in because they're body workers. Because we know, because I looked on film. And they start breaking up scar tissue. So just basic common fucking sense. Breaking up the scar tissue is eliminating the temporary bridge before the tissue below has even had a chance to build. So now what's the body going to do? There's a feedback of and a sensory mechanism to take in all this infinite amount of information and go, wait, I put scar tissue there to bridge. That tissue's not done healing yet. More scar tissue. Only now it'll go even more, because when you broke it up with a therapy or treatment, then went back into life, you created more damage that your body sensed you might not sense. And now there needs to be more scarring and more scarring. And then it's just this beautiful, perfect cycle that someone will get you to believe is old age or luck or genetics or some other perverted lie around injuries. So, that's the skinny on scar tissue. And then the only way it breaks up, the only way the body gets rid of it when it's ready is through a muscular contraction. Done. There is no other way the body purposefully goes through. It's like breaking out of a cocoon. You don't break out of a cocoon with just thought. You break out of a cocoon through movement when it's appropriate. And if somebody cuts open the cocoon prior to, we already know the result of what's going to happen to that butterfly. And that's what scar tissue is when we go ahead and obliterate it with these therapies and treatments and tools like knives and Graston and all this other bullshit. Is you're just opening up the casing, the cocoon casing, before the butterfly has earned its wings. And we already know the result of that. The result is the same thing with the human being. And so I had a beautiful, personal, wildly physical and emotional experience with scar tissue with this latest injury response to the car accident in Croatia. And I want to share it in deep detail on the subscription page. So if anybody's over there, stay tuned for that. Because it just happened about 3 days ago. It's been a while since I've had damage substantial enough to go through a scar tissue phase. Oh, and one more thing. It came up in the Zoom. We don't wait for scar tissue to form. It's not something you you know about is going on. It's just the body does it. So it's not with injury. Oh, this is the period of time where I do absolutely nothing and wait for scar tissue to form. That's not in the cards, although professions will have you believe that that's a step. There's no waiting. As soon as an injury occurs, hours after, if you're emotionally there, or a day later, you're starting actionable inputs to create a scenario within you where body is doing what it needs to do with your help to heal. But there's not this like 3-week, 2-week lay around, do absolutely nothing until scar tissue forms, and then we begin rehab or whatever rehab is. So if that's out there, I didn't think that was still being said, but that was mentioned in a Zoom, and I want to correct it in the Zoom, and you want to correct it now. Again, kind of a cool topic, something that gets pushed to the side as a nuisance because it doesn't feel good and it's limiting, and it's, well, of course, it's just like the limp that we have with a rolled ankle is limiting. But if the limp didn't happen and the swelling didn't happen, we wouldn't survive the rolled ankle scenario, nor would we know that there's damage enough that we need to change some things and heal. So healing is a nuisance, healing is inconvenient, but healing is fucking pure magic. Something to chew on this beautiful Sunday. Have a good day.